My daughter's young friends while my husband was away for a year. Ended up sleeping with one of their boyfriends. Begged my daughter to keep it secret or I'd stop paying her college fees, she told her father. Anyway. And now I've lost everything and live in her friend's house full of regret. My husband works in offshore engineering. He's been gone almost a year now. We've been married for over 20 years, and for most of that time, his work kept him traveling. I'm used to it. But this time things hit differently because our daughter Nikki went off to college nearby and suddenly the house felt too quiet. I started hosting her and her friends on weekends. They'd come over to swim, eat, hang out. I enjoyed having energy in the house again. It started pretty innocently. They were loud, funny, always teasing me about how cool I was for letting them drink or stay late. I didn't think much of it. They made me feel included. One of her friends, Lily, even joked that I was the hot mom of the group. I laughed it off. But looking back, that's where I stopped being careful. Around the third or fourth time they came over, one of the boys, Sky, started helping me with things around the house. He fixed a shelf, changed a light bulb, things like that. He was polite, mature for his age, 22 maybe. Nikki and Lily had been best friends since high school, and Sky was Lily's boyfriend. I thought nothing of it until he started lingering after everyone left. One night, he came back after dropping Lily off and said he forgot his hoodie. I was half asleep but let him in. We talked for a bit and he said he was having problems with Lily that he felt unappreciated. It was awkward but he looked genuinely upset. Then he complimented me, said I understood people better than most adults. I don't know what came over me. One moment we were talking, the next he kissed me. I should have stopped it but I didn't and we slept together. It happened once and I told myself it was a mistake, but then it happened again the following weekend. After that, it became a secret pattern. He'd find excuses to drop by when Nikki wasn't home, and I'd pretend I didn't want it. But I didn't exactly stop him either. He made me feel young again. That's the truth. I hate to admit. A few weeks later, Nikki found out. I don't even know how. She came home earlier than expected and saw him leaving. She didn't say anything at first. I tried to act normal, but that night, she confronted me. I panicked. I didn't even deny it. I just begged her not to tell her father. I told her she could hate me, yell at me, but not ruin the family over one stupid mistake. When she said she would tell him anyway, I lost it. I said something I regret more than anything. I told her if she opened her mouth, I'd stop paying for her college. She froze. Then she told me to go to hell and left. I thought she was bluffing, but she wasn't. She called her father the next morning and told him everything. He called me 2 days later from his job. Didn't yell, didn't ask questions, just said, "Don't be in the house when I get back." That was it. The fallout was worse than I expected. He cut off our shared accounts, told his family what I did. Nikki told Lily and that exploded too, apparently. Sky confessed and blamed me entirely. Said I seduced him. Lily told everyone in their group. I started getting texts from Nikki's other friends calling me disgusting. One of them even posted something vague about moms who can't act their age. I tried reaching out to Sky, but his number was disconnected. He ghosted me completely. The last I heard, Lily broke up with him and dropped out of college for a semester because of the humiliation. I moved into my sister's guest room for a while, but that didn't last long either. She was polite at first, but her husband didn't want me around. He said it was inappropriate having me in the house with their teenage son. That was humiliating. I packed up and left after a week. Now I'm renting a small place near town and working part-time at a local boutique. My husband hasn't filed for divorce yet, but I know it's coming. He's still paying for Nikki's tuition directly, which makes me feel worse. She hasn't spoken to me since that night. I ruined my marriage, my relationship with my daughter, and my reputation. I know I deserve most of it, but part of me feels like everything spiraled far beyond that one mistake. Update 1. I thought the worst part was over when my husband threw me out and my daughter stopped talking to me. But now, it's a whole different kind of nightmare. There's videos now out. I didn't even know Sky had recorded anything. I found out because one of my daughter's friends messaged me saying there was something going around and that I needed to be aware. I didn't believe it until I saw a screenshot. It was blurry, but I recognized the furniture, my old living room. I can't even describe what it felt like seeing that it wasn't a public upload, but it was being sent around privately in group chats. Apparently, he sent it to 2 of his friends from college, and one of them shared it with others. That's all it took. I don't know how many people have seen it. Maybe 10, maybe 50. I've heard versions of it being described by people who shouldn't even know I exist. My daughter knows about it now too. She found out through her friend, the same one whose boyfriend it was. That girl sent the video to my husband's work email with a short message saying, "This is what your wife was doing while you were gone." He works in a pretty professional field, and the company started an internal review because the video was filmed inside the house they co-own. It's not an official case, but it's embarrassing for him. His colleagues know. His boss knows. He told me not to contact him ever again. I tried reaching out to Sky, but his number didn't work anymore. I drove to his college campus and waited outside a building I knew he had classes in. I just wanted to talk to ask him to delete everything and tell people it wasn't what it looked like. Security ended up getting called. They said I was causing a disturbance. I didn't even raise my voice. I was just standing there waiting, but apparently he told them I'd been following him for days. They gave me a warning and said I could be banned from the premises if I came back. After that, I went home and there was a notice taped to the door from a lawyer. He'd applied for a restraining order. It's temporary for now, but it says I can't contact him directly or indirectly. I still can't believe it. Then the girl he was dating, the same one who used to come to my house all the time, started messaging me through fake accounts. She said things like, "You're disgusting. And everyone knows what you did." I tried blocking them, but she kept making new ones. Eventually, I changed my number. The part that really broke me was when I found out she recorded one of our phone calls and played it in a group chat full of their friends. Apparently, I sounded crazy and defensive. I was just trying to explain that it wasn't one-sided. I don't even know who to believe anymore because people I barely know are acting like they were there. My daughter hasn't unblocked me. I keep checking her profiles like an idiot, just trying to see if she's okay. She looks happy in the photos, but I know she's embarrassed. I heard from someone that she's changed colleges to get away from all this. That part makes me sick because I did that to her. My family doesn't want to hear about it. My sister told me to get therapy and stop calling. My brother said I need to stop playing the victim. Maybe they're right, but I honestly don't know how I'm supposed to process this. I spoke to a lawyer briefly. He said if I can prove I didn't consent to being recorded, I might have a case for invasion of privacy, but it's tricky because of the age gap and how people are already framing it. He said I should expect to be portrayed as someone who took advantage of a younger man. That phrase has followed me everywhere since. Predator, manipulator, cougar, groomer. Words I never thought would be used about me. Part of me wants to fight it, to make him admit what he did, but another part of me knows how it looks from the outside. He's in his early 20s and I'm in my 40s. There's no way to make that look good, even if it wasn't what people think. What hurts the most is knowing I can't even explain myself to my daughter or my husband. They wouldn't believe me. Sometimes I think about going to the police, but then I picture having to sit there and describe everything, and I freeze. I don't even know if I have the strength to do that. I've been staying with a friend who doesn't ask many questions. I think she feels sorry for me, but even she said I should probably leave town for a while. I don't know where I'd go. I don't have enough money to start over somewhere new. Every few days, I get a new message from a blocked number or a fake account. They send screenshots, comments, jokes people are making. I shouldn't look, but I do. The names are always different, but the words are the same. You're sick. You ruined your family. Stay away from kids. I try not to read them anymore, but sometimes curiosity wins. I wish I could say I'm learning something from all this, or that I'm sorry in a way that means something, but mostly I just feel stuck. Everyone else got to move on while I'm still living it. The lawyer I spoke to said he'll need a retainer to start anything. I don't even know if I'll go through with it. It feels like trying to fix something that's already burned down. Update 2. I went ahead with the lawsuit against Sky and honestly thought it would make things better or at least clear my name a little. Instead, it's made everything worse than I could have imagined. When I first met with a lawyer, she told me I had a case for invasion of privacy because I didn't consent to being recorded. I clung on to that because it was the first time someone made me feel like maybe I wasn't completely at fault. I gave her everything, screenshots, texts, even the clothes I wore that day because she said they could show. I didn't know there was a camera. She said it would take time, but I might have a chance. For a few days, I let myself believe I could come out of this with some dignity. Then Sky got a lawyer. His family hired one of those aggressive young ones who loves to talk to the press. I started seeing small posts on Facebook and local gossip pages saying things like that older woman who sued a college kid and some people don't know when to stop embarrassing themselves. I deleted my accounts, but people sent me screenshots anyway. The story spread before I even stepped foot in a courtroom. The court date was last month. It felt humiliating walking in there knowing everyone probably recognized me from the photos that had gone around. I could hear whispers as I walked past. My lawyer told me to keep my head down, but it was impossible. The worst part was when Sky walked in. He didn't even look nervous. He smiled. His lawyer stood up and basically tore my whole case apart in 10 minutes. They had copies of every message I ever sent him. Hundreds. Some were flirtatious, some desperate. One message I had completely forgotten about. I told him I'd buy him a new phone if he deleted the video. Seeing that printed out and passed around the courtroom made me want to sink through the floor. It didn't matter that I was older or that I didn't know he was filming. They made it look like I'd been chasing him for months, like I was some kind of unstable woman who couldn't handle rejection. His lawyer even said I used my age and status to manipulate a younger man and then cried victim when it didn't go her way. The judge didn't even argue. He dismissed it there and then said there was clear mutual consent. I lost completely. 2 days later, I got served with a counterclaim. Sky's family are suing me for harassment because of the incident at his college when I went there trying to talk to him. Apparently, someone recorded part of that too. You can hear me shouting. They're saying I caused him emotional distress. My lawyer told me it could drag out for months and cost me everything. My husband accelerated the divorce right after that. His lawyer sent me a notice that he's filing for full property ownership. The house, the car, even the savings account we built together, all gone. I've barely been able to keep up with rent for the tiny place I've been staying in. I've sold jewelry, furniture, anything worth something. I don't have much left. Around this time, a new woman started messaging me on Facebook. I thought it was spam at first until she said she was Sky's girlfriend. She's 45. I didn't even know how to react. She sent a photo of them together at some bar, captioned it, "Thanks for teaching him everything." I blocked her immediately, but she kept making new accounts. It's like I can't escape this. A few weeks after that, I stopped eating properly. Couldn't sleep. I kept thinking if I could just turn back time, maybe I could fix it somehow. One night, I took more pills than I should have. I didn't think much about it. I just wanted to stop feeling sick all the time. I woke up in a hospital the next morning. The nurse said I'd been brought in by a neighbor who found me after I missed rent collection. Apparently, my daughter came to see me while I was unconscious. She didn't stay long. When I was discharged, I had nowhere to go. My landlord had already changed the locks. A friend from years ago offered me her spare room temporarily. It's small, barely fits a bed, but at least I have a roof over my head. I told myself I'd start fresh, but it's hard when your name is basically ruined everywhere. Every time I try to apply for work, someone recognizes me. I don't even check my messages anymore because it's just insults or gossip. I wish I could say I've learned something, but mostly I just feel empty. I thought I was being clever when I tried to sue him. I thought it would make people see that I was taken advantage of too. Instead, all it did was remind everyone what I'd done. My daughter won't answer my calls. My ex-husband won't even speak to me through the lawyer anymore. I'm down to a few hundred and whatever is left in my suitcase. I know this all sounds dramatic, but it's the truth. Every single thing I've tried to do to make things better has just made them worse. I used to think everyone was against me, but now I can see maybe I've been the one burning every bridge I ever had. I keep telling myself I'm trying to start over. I don't even know what that means anymore. Update 3. 2 months have passed and I don't feel like a mother, a wife, or even a real person. I just feel like a leftover version of myself that doesn't belong anywhere. After I got out of the hospital, I stayed with my friend for a little longer. Then a woman named Leah. She used to be one of my daughter's closest friends back in high school. I hadn't seen her in years, but she reached out after seeing what happened online and said she felt sorry for me. I didn't have any other options, so I said yes. Her place was small but clean, and at first it felt like safety, something I hadn't felt in a long time. She told me not to worry about rent until I was back on my feet, and she'd even cook dinner sometimes so we could eat together. It almost felt normal. I didn't know then that I was just walking into another mess. It started with small things. Leah would take her phone to the bathroom whenever she got a text. She'd laugh quietly to herself and get weirdly defensive if I asked who it was. Once when I passed her room to use the washing machine, I heard a voice through the door, a man's voice, and my stomach just dropped. It sounded too familiar. I didn't say anything at first. I thought maybe I was being paranoid, that I'd turned into one of those people who sees betrayal in every shadow, but it kept happening. I'd hear the same voice on calls, muffled but distinct. I could make out the tone, the draw, the way he said, "Yeah," like he didn't care who was listening. It was Sky. At first, I told myself there was no way that he wouldn't dare. Not after everything that happened. But one night, I was in the kitchen making tea, and Leah's phone buzzed on the counter. The screen lit up with a message, his name right there, plain as day. I froze. It wasn't even hidden under a nickname or initials. It just said Sky. I stood there staring at it until she came out of her room. When she saw me looking, her whole body tensed. She snatched the phone and laughed like it was no big deal. Said she was just catching up with an old friend. My hands were shaking. I couldn't even speak. That night, I didn't sleep. I sat up replaying everything in my head. How she found me. How quickly she offered to take me in. How she never mentioned that she'd been talking to him. I started wondering if this had been some kind of setup from the start. Maybe he told her to keep an eye on me to make sure I didn't do anything that could ruin his reputation further. Or maybe she was just like everyone else, curious enough to watch the train wreck up close. A week later, I heard them. His voice clearer this time. He was in the apartment. I was in the hallway when I heard them laughing in Leah's room. The sound made my stomach turn. I don't even know how long I stood there listening. When I finally pushed the door open, he looked right at me. Same smirk, same careless face that had ruined my life. Leah jumped up, tried to say it wasn't what it looked like. I just laughed. I couldn't help it. It felt like a nightmare repeating itself. I don't remember everything that came out of my mouth. I know I yelled. I know I said things I shouldn't have. She kept filming me with her phone while shouting for me to calm down. I tried to grab it and she pushed me back. He just stood there half-dressed, watching like it was entertainment. Leah kicked me out that same night. She told me I was unstable and she didn't feel safe with me around. I packed what little I had and left. I didn't even know where to go. I ended up sitting at a bus stop until morning just waiting for the sun. Final update. It's been almost a year since everything fell apart. I don't even know how to describe what my life looks like now because I don't really have one anymore. After getting kicked out of Leah's, I drifted for weeks. I had no money, no friends, and nowhere to go. Every motel room I stayed in smelled like bleach and despair, and the cheap sheets never warmed me. I started cleaning homes part-time for cash, mostly early mornings and late evenings, just to scrape by. One of my clients turned out to be a coworker of my ex-husband's new girlfriend. That's when I learned completely by accident that my ex had remarried. Lily walked him down the aisle, my own daughter. She'd chosen him over me, over everything I thought I meant to her. It hit me harder than anything before. I found out about Sky too. He's gone. A few months back, he died in a motorcycle accident. He was still with Leah when it happened. I didn't cry at first. I didn't feel anything except this hollow sort of disbelief. He had ruined my life. And somehow in the end, he just left it. And Leah reached out to me a few weeks after. She's pregnant now. She apologized. Said she didn't mean for me to end up like this and that she wanted me to know she's moving forward. She doesn't know if the baby is Sky's or another guy's. That detail didn't shock me. It just made me feel emptier. I drive by my old house sometimes just to see the lights on to remind myself that everyone I loved has moved on. That the life I thought I was living, the family, the home, the sense of being needed, it's all gone. The house doesn't even look the same to me anymore. I can't believe that I used to feel safe there. Like I had control.